A mother jolts awake to her child's blood-curdling screams. She runs into his room and freezes. There in the dim light, a monster from the wild is coiled around her 6-year-old son's body. It's not a dream. It's not a scene from a horror movie. It's a real-life nightmare. And the creature is a 10-foot python sinking its teeth into her little boy's face. What happens next is nothing short of heroic and horrifying. This isn't fiction. This happened. And if you think your bedroom is a safe place, this savage tale may make you sleep with one eye open tonight. Welcome to Savage Tales Animal Encounters, the channel where raw nature collides with human survival. Every week we dive deep into the most jaw-dropping, spine-tingling real-life animal attack stories from around the globe. From jungle ambushes and deep-sea terrors to backyard nightmares like this one, we bring you face-to-face with the wild. Today's story takes us to Australia, where a mother had to wrestle a 10-foot python to save her son from what could have been a fatal attack, all in the middle of the night. This tale of terror, instinct and courage will leave you breathless. Before we jump into this gripping encounter, take a second to support our growing community of thrill seekers and animal encounter enthusiasts by doing the following. Smash that like button if you believe in everyday heroes like this mum. Drop a comment below. What would you do if you found a giant python wrapped around your child in the dead of night? Share this video with friends who think snakes are harmless and maybe change their minds. Subscribe for weekly videos that explore the untamed side of nature, the kind that hides in plain sight. Ring the notification bell so you're first in line for our next wild survival story. We're building a fearless tribe here at Savage Tales, and you're invited, so buckle up, stay sharp and prepare to be shocked. Because here at Savage Tales Animal Encounters, the wild doesn't knock before it enters. It was an ordinary Australian evening, warm, quiet and uneventful. The kind of night where the only sounds drifting through the rural New South Wales air were the hum of insects and the occasional rustle of eucalyptus trees swaying in the breeze. Inside a modest home nestled near Maxville, 6-year-old Tyler was tucked into bed, curled beneath the covers, fast asleep, unaware that the thin veil between domestic comfort and raw nature was already beginning to tear. His mother, Tamara, moved through the house, doing what countless mothers do at the end of a long day, checking doors, turning off lights, and finally sinking into the precious quiet that comes once children have fallen asleep. The home felt safe, ordinary, familiar, but outside those walls, hidden by night and shadow, something ancient was on the move. Not far from the house, perhaps slithering through the brush or down from the low-hanging branches of a nearby tree, a carpet python nearly 10 feet long was making its silent approach. These snakes are non-venomous and native to Australia. Typically, they hunt birds, rats or possums, but in rare instances, especially in areas where human homes brush up against wild habitat, these powerful constrictors can make their way indoors, drawn by warmth or by scent. No one saw it. No one heard it. Somehow, and to this day, no one can explain exactly how, this massive snake managed to find its way inside Tamara's home. Maybe it slipped through a poorly sealed window or an open screen door left ajar earlier in the day. Maybe it had been watching, waiting for an opportunity. What we know is this: it got in, and it wasn't just passing through. As Tamara drifted into a light sleep, the snake moved with cold precision, one muscle wrapped inch at a time. Carpet pythons are masters of stealth, silent, patient, strong. Somewhere in the stillness of the night, it entered Tyler's room. The boy lay still, his small chest rising and falling in steady rhythm. He had no idea he wasn't alone, no idea that something far too large, far too alien was sliding closer. Did it mistake him for prey? Was it attracted by the warmth of his body, his scent? Whatever its motive, the python slithered silently up onto the bed. And still, no sound, no cry, not yet. Back in her room, Tamara remained asleep, completely unaware that just down the hall her son was inches from danger. Maybe the snake hesitated. Maybe, for a brief moment, it simply coiled itself beside the boy like a strange guardian from a nightmare realm. But then, something changed. The air in the room grew heavy, the python shifted, and then Tyler screamed. Tyler screamed. It was not the startled cry of a child waking from a bad dream. It was something else, something primal. A piercing, blood-curdling shriek that shattered the stillness of the night and ripped Tamara from her bed like a gunshot. She jumped to her feet, heart racing, her legs moving before her mind could catch up. In that single horrifying moment, every maternal instinct in her body exploded into motion. Something was wrong. Deeply, dangerously wrong. She sprinted down the hallway barefoot, calling his name, her breath shallow and uneven. She burst into the room and froze. There, in the dim blue glow of a nightlight, was a sight no mother should ever witness. A massive python, thick as a man's forearm and nearly 10 feet long, was coiled tightly around her 6-year-old son's torso. Its muscular body rippled with tension, wrapped around the small frame of the boy like a living vice. Its triangular head jerked forward again and again, striking at Tyler's face with terrifying force. Tamara stood paralyzed for a split second. Time stretched. Then she moved. She didn't think. She didn't hesitate. She lunged forward, grabbing the thick, heavy snake with her bare hands, prying and pulling, screaming Tyler's name through tears and adrenaline. The python fought back. It tightened its coils, its body powerful and unyielding, built to crush. But Tamara was beyond fear, beyond logic. She was a mother, and nothing in the world was going to take her son. With all her strength, she ripped the snake off Tyler, uncoiling it section by section, its rough, cold scales sliding beneath her fingers. It tried to resist, but she was relentless. Finally, with one last pull, she freed her son. Tyler collapsed into her arms, sobbing, bleeding, dazed. His face was covered in puncture wounds. Blood streaked his cheeks, tiny half-moon bites, marks from the snake's backward curved fangs, lined his skin. But he was breathing. He was alive. Tamara screamed for help, cradling her son as she stumbled from the room. The snake, now loose on the floor, hissed and coiled, still a threat. Just moments later, Tamara's cousins, who lived nearby, arrived, alerted by her frantic phone call. They entered the house and found the snake still in attack posture. There was no time for relocation, no chance to wait for animal control. The cousins killed the python on the spot, a brutal but necessary decision. Tamara didn't wait. She rushed Tyler to the hospital. By the time they arrived, the initial shock had begun to wear off, replaced by the dull ache of fear, confusion, and the lingering adrenaline still coursing through both of them. Doctors treated Tyler's wounds, cleaning the bites, monitoring for infection. Miraculously, he had no broken bones, no signs of internal trauma. The snake hadn't begun to constrict tightly enough to cause lasting damage. He spent the night in observation, and by the following day, he was discharged. Tamara would later tell reporters, "Tyler doesn't remember anything, which is the best part. He was only complaining about his finger hurting." A child's resilience, simple, remarkable, and unfathomably lucky. Photos soon surfaced online, one showing a cousin holding the dead python, its long, muscular body limp and heavy in his hands. The image quickly went viral, shared thousands of times across social media. People reacted with disbelief, horror, and admiration. Comments flooded in, some praising Tamara's bravery, others horrified at the idea of a child being attacked in his own bed. But for Tamara, the story wasn't about attention. It wasn't about social media. It was about the unthinkable moment that nearly stole her son, and the instinctive fury that allowed her to fight back. They say you never know what you're capable of until the moment chooses you. For Tamara, that moment came in the darkest hour of the night, when the wild found its way indoors, and a mother became a warrior. What started as a peaceful night turned into a living nightmare. A child attacked in his own bed by a predator, most of us think only belongs in the wild. But it's also a story of courage, of instinct, and of a mother's refusal to back down in the face of danger. Tamara didn't just save her son. She reminded us that true strength often shows up when it's least expected, and that sometimes the real wild isn't outside, that it's already inside. If this story gripped you, shocked you, or gave you goosebumps, then don't just watch. Get involved. Smash that like button to show appreciation for the bravery of everyday heroes like Tamara. Drop a comment below. What would you have done in that moment? Have you ever faced off against the wild? We want to hear your story. Share this video with friends and family, especially those who think wild animal attacks are rare or far away. This could change their perspective. Subscribe to Savage Tales, Animal Encounters, for a weekly dose of survival, suspense, and true stories from the edge of nature. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you're the first to know when the next savage encounter drops. Trust us, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Thank you so much for watching and supporting our channel. Whether you're a thrill seeker, an animal lover, or just someone who appreciates real stories of raw courage, we're glad you're part of this wild journey with us. This is Savage Tales Animal Encounters, where the wild doesn't knock, it breaks in. Stay alert. Stay safe. We'll see you in the next tale.